everybody. Starting the notes on deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning sounds pretty crazy. You're going to be kind of blown away at how absolutely basic that this actually is. So let's make sure that we are ready to take notes with pencils, that we're not distracted by YouTube or games or anything like that. Here we go. Deductive reasoning, I got a kind of a long definition here, but once we talk about what it actually is, you're going to see nothing crazy. All right? So deductive reasoning is the process of reasoning that hasn't really said very much yet, right? Deductive reasoning is the process of reasoning logically. That makes sense because we're in the logic unit and we're going to use logic. And drawing a conclusion from given facts and statements. All right, as you finish writing that down, zoom in for you a little bit, make sure it's extra clear. This says deductive reasoning is a process of reasoning logically and drawing a conclusion from given facts and statements. So as much as that is a bunch of words that are like 7 letters long or longer, it literally just says reasoning logically given facts. All right? We're just going to read a sentence and we're just going to use our reasoning to make a conclusion. Okay? So, we're going to get this symbolic map. Okay? And the symbolic map here is almost like a little equation. The symbolic map for deductive reasoning is that P will imply Q then, if you just look at number 1, right? If P implies Q, if Mark saves $30, then he can buy a new video game, right? But then we get a second little thing here, right? We get this. Mark saves $30. All right. Well, if Mark saves $30, that is P. And so far what this question has told us is that if Mark saves $30, he can buy a new video game. Next sentence, Mark saved 30 bucks. What is going to happen next?
He can buy the video game.
Yeah, right? If Mark buys, if he saved $30, he buys the game. Okay, well he saved the money, so he's going to buy the game. All right? So, we're going to make a little like equation looking thing. Okay? We're going to get these 3 dots. Okay? Now, don't think about it too hard. These 3 dots are just lazy math way to write the word therefore. I can never remember if therefore has an E on the end, but we're just throwing an E on the end. So, basically we're saying if P implies Q and P came true, then Q is coming right after. So these steps that we've skipped over here, it says given a conditional statement. So that given a conditional statement, that's our P implies Q part. If the hypothesis is true, then the conclusion is true. If the first part happened, then the second part is going to happen right after that. Okay, again, you're going to be, as usual in the logic section, probably amazed at how strangely straightforward that this concept is. So, number 1, it says if Mark saves $30, then he's going to buy a new game. Mark saved $30. What can we conclude is about to happen? Here we go. Mark is going to buy a new game. Okay, and I don't want to stall on this too long. I know you have a little bit of writing to do, but we get a little bit of a setup where we hear that one thing causes another, and if it's happened, then finish it off. So number 2, if a quadrilateral is a rhombus, then it is also a parallelogram. Okay, so if it's a rhombus, then it's going to be a parallelogram. You're good, you can sharpen that. So number 2, we figure out quadrilateral ABCD is a rhombus. Did it satisfy the hypothesis? Is the hypothesis true? Yeah. If a quadrilateral is a rhombus, this quadrilateral is a rhombus. Excellent. So what's going to happen next? Q is going to come true. Our conclusion is about to happen. That means that quadrilateral, a little bit of a math word there for just the word box, I guess, but the quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, this is one of the dumbest, easiest things ever. Like, am all I supposed to do is just write down the second part of the sentence and then I'm just totally done? You talking about in front of Ariana?
Yeah.
Sure. So, if I look at number 3, here's where we're going to see something a little bit different. All right? If you are 18 years old, then you can register to vote. However, what does it say? Olivia is not 18 years old. So, did we satisfy the start of this kind of process? Did P happen? No. Okay? We have a breakdown. Okay? P never happened. So, if the start never happened, there's no way we can guarantee the finish. All right? What we're going to put here is no logical conclusion. All right? Now we have to be very careful, and we have to write no logical conclusion, because as soon as the P fails, you're not allowed to think harder and make new connections. You just say, hey, listen, no logical conclusion. It did not happen, okay? Because, you can't say Olivia cannot vote, because there is a chance that Olivia's older than 18, and then maybe she would be able to vote, right? How this is set up, you have to be 18, and that means that you can vote. However, we failed the start, so the question's over. No logical conclusion. All right, number 4. Given the sum of the measures of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are complementary. And we get two angles here. Angle M is 58, and angle K is 32. So, does that satisfy the P? Is that a legit representation of the first hypothesis? Yeah, because what's 58 plus 32? 90, right? Sum means plus. 58 plus 32 equals 90, and so we are check. We are good to go. That means the first part happened. Time for the conclusion. So the conclusion could say, make a sentence that makes sense here. Angles J and K are complementary. All right, there's one question left on this front. It says, If you plan to attend prom, then you must purchase a ticket. What do you think's going on with number 5? What do you say?
Sarah purchased a prom ticket.
She did, right. So, does that start our P implies Q statement, right? Does this part at the end here validate the first piece, the hypothesis? Correct. It does not. You're right. Okay? Sarah purchases a prom ticket. Has nothing to do with the P, correct? This is talking about the Q. And so, no logical conclusion.
Wait, how is it no logical conclusion?
Because we need this extra piece here to be talking about the hypothesis. And because the hypothesis comes first and the conclusion comes second, Sarah purchases a prom ticket. That is about the conclusion.
So if it was Sarah Dan's going to prom,
Then we could say, yeah, she needs to purchase
it
a.
doesn't have to do with if she's going or not going.
Right.
Okay.
All we can say is it's like a easy reaction. If P happens, then Q happens, right? So we look at number 1. Did P happen? Yes. Q. We look at number 2. Did P happen? Yes. Q. We look at number 3. Did P happen? No. Stop. We're done. 4. Did P happen? Yes. Q. And the last one. Did P happen? No. P did not happen. This is talking about Q. And so, boom. We're done. All right? Just slow down a little bit. Take your time. Just read it. Make sure it makes sense. And then if you're not basically just restating the hypothesis, then you're done. No logical conclusion. Just finish up. That is it for deductive reasoning.